to another episode of Charlotte's Virtual Kitchen. For anybody that doesn't know me, I'm Charlotte Allen. I was diagnosed with Parkinson's aged 36 and I'm now 53. Apart from being the co-partner of Parkinson's Concierge alongside my partner, Russ Bradford, I also have a recruitment agency, so that keeps me busy too. My next passion, apart from campaigning and doing good for people with Parkinson's, is cooking. And that's why I've decided to share with you some of my favourite recipes. And normally you'll find me on the Parkinson's Concierge Facebook page or Parkinson's People Facebook page every other week on a Wednesday, cooking at 4 o'clock. Well, because this is quite a complex recipe, I'm cooking the chocolate pavlova brownie cake for you today. Again, it's another favourite dish of my dad's. My mum cooked it on weekends. It's one of those ones that brings back memories, lovely memories. So I wanted to share them with you. So I will be putting the ingredients list up on the Facebook page once I've completed cooking. But basically, it's a dish that's cooked in two different parts. The brownie cake at the bottom, which goes into the oven first of all, and then after it's cooked for a while, you take it out and then you put the pavlova part of the dish on top and then put it back into the oven. I've preheated the oven at 180 degrees and I've got a baking tin here, which is a 22 centimetre round tin, which has been lined with greaseproof paper, also round the sides, and it's always better to have it 5 centimetres above the top of the tin as well. So the ingredients, it's not too healthy, I need to warn you all. For the brownie bottom, it's 250 grams of butter, and then there's 350 grams of dark chocolate, which I've started melting in a bowl here just to sort of save time. I'm going to be adding things to that now. First of all, I'm going to be adding the butter, which is 250 grams, like I said, of unsalted butter to melt in with that. So I'll just put that in there and that can melt away. I'll just put it on a bit higher. And while that's melting, I'll be giving it a stir and adding some sugar. So there's 300 grams of light muscovado sugar, which is added to the dish once the chocolate and the butter's melted. So hopefully that won't take too long. And I'll just give it a bit of a stir now, just to help it on its way. So while that's doing so, as I said, preheat the oven to 180 degrees, line your tin, get everything prepared. I've weighed everything out just to save time because there's a lot of whisking, there's a lot of preparation, but the end result, I'm sure you'll see it's worth it. So moving on for the ingredients for the chocolate meringue, there's 4 egg whites. There's also 225 grams of golden caster sugar. So I expect everyone's seeing their teeth disappear now. It's not a healthy dish, but it's lovely. And 2 teaspoons full of vanilla extract, a teaspoon of corn flour, and 50 grams of cocoa powder. Now, I've already mixed the cocoa powder and the corn flour together, sieved them together, as I said, to save time. But I have also included an additional ingredient that I always put in my meringues, which is a white wine vinegar, and just a teaspoon goes in, and I think that really makes the meringue superb. Sometime, sort of over the years, the making of pavlova has become fashionable, unfashionable. In the 1980s they called it slightly naff, but now it's like a chic edible accessory. And I love cooking meringues. I'm always cooking pavlovas on the weekends or Eton mess. There's normally one going on the weekend, so pop by if you're near. With regards to the chocolate, I've used quite high quality chocolate with quite a high percentage of cocoa. Lindt is one of my favourites. So now, as we're sort of melting and progressing with that, I'm going to add some of the sugar into the mixture. Just giving it a stir, helping it to all melt nicely together and dissolve. It's quite strange really because there's no actual flour in this dish, so it's quite hard to get your head round how it will rise and what it will be like. As I say, while it's all melting away there. And then what I'm going to do then is move on to whisking the eggs. I forgot to mention that there's also 5 large eggs separated for the bottom of the pavlova dish, for the brownie side of things. So I'll be giving that a whisk in a minute and getting that all going. So, I mean, you've had a bit of a break from my cooking show recently, but, you know, I wanted to also go through with you what Russ and I and the team at Parkinson's Concierge have been up to. We've been really busy. We've been planning for the Giant conference in December, Giant Health 2020, where we're going to be the first patient-led conference track on Parkinson's. Very exciting for us, a lot of hard work, but we're really excited by it. We're going to have a show called Living Life with Parkinson's, and what it revolves around essentially is telling the whole conference what it's like to live a life with Parkinson's. We were invited by the Giant CEO, Barry Schreier, to take up this challenge, which we gratefully did. And if you're looking for tickets, they're available on the top page of our website, which is parkinsonsconcierge.com, and you'll see that we've managed to agree a discounted rate for people with Parkinson's to attend this event. It's a virtual event, so you don't have to go very far, and to actually have access to the event, which is on December the 1st and 2nd, people with Parkinson's can attend virtually for both days for £25 only. So we'd strongly recommend, you know, looking into it. We've got a fireside chat regarding the event and what's involved alongside Barry Schreier, and that event's going to be on Tuesday the 29th of September on the Parkinson's People Facebook group. So let's see how the chocolate's going. Melting nicely now. Just going to stir it in and put some more of the sugar mix in. Got to wait for it all to dissolve, so stir that in nicely. And then in the meantime, I'm going to start whisking the egg whites. The 5 egg whites that I've had to sort of prepare. The yolks go into this shortly once all the sugar's dissolved. So I'll just pop the whisk on. Hopefully you can still hear me. Right, so now, as I say, we're whisking the egg whites to make a fluffy base for the brownie. They should be ready in just a minute, so hopefully it won't take too long. I know it's rather noisy, but I want to obviously include you in the cooking process. I'll be taking photos of the process that I don't show online and actually posting that on the internet after I finish cooking. So I'm just stirring that again. And now once all the sugar has dissolved into the mixture, I'll be bringing that over and just letting it cool for a few minutes on this board, giving it a stir still, making sure there's no lumps of chocolate in there. And yeah, nice and melted. So something else I wanted to tell you that's on the horizon. You may have seen that we're co-hosting and collaborating with the Excellence Network and Parkinson's UK. We've got a very exciting next webinar coming up in mid-October. The date will be confirmed by the end of this week, where we've invited Steve Ford, CEO of Parkinson's UK, to be on our webinar panel. Also Professor Ray Chowdhury, who's Professor of Movement Disorders, and he's also Clinical Director of Parkinson's Foundation Centre of Excellence at King's College, so another key figure. And also we've got joining us Professor Baz Bloom, who's Director of Radbourne Centre of Expertise for Parkinson's and Movement Disorders. And that's going to be quite an exciting event to watch, and that will be streamed as we normally do onto Parkinson's UK YouTube channel, and the date will be confirmed shortly. So we've got some exciting things coming up that we can share with you. Right, going back to the mixture. Now, with this, obviously it's quite hot, so you have to be quite careful. So what I'm going to do, I mean obviously, if you get it stirring nicely like that, I'm going to bring over the egg whites. So what I'm going to do is stir in the egg yolks. That's the 5 egg yolks that were there when the brownie was separated. And then I'm going to add some of the egg white into the chocolate mixture. That's in total, in this part of the dish, there's 5 egg whites here. So I'm going to gently mix them, and then as it cooks, the egg yolks will obviously thicken the mixture, which is why you don't actually need to have any flour in the dish. So just mixing all that in. While that's mixing, I'm just going to put the remainder of the eggs onto a whisk at the moment. The egg whites, which is 4 egg whites for the meringue part of the dish. And I'm just going to keep stirring this. It's quite a, not a difficult process, but it seems as if when you're stirring it that nothing's happening, but it actually is. So put the remainder, it's quite a lot of egg yolks. Hopefully it'll all fit into the dish. So this is like making chocolate mousse. It's quite difficult to mix in. It is quite a difficult process, but believe me, it will disappear. So I hope all of you are coping with the current situation with COVID-19 and staying safe. Us up here, up in the north, we're under another sort of like partial lockdown. Well, we are in a lockdown, but obviously we're allowed to go out for the necessities, and we've been popping out, and yeah, hopefully, who knows, we're going to see a new world at the end of it. So I'm just now continuing. It's a real will process this one to mix all the chocolate, all the egg whites in. Just when you think there couldn't be any more egg whites in a dish, there's some more coming up. But you'll see when I take the photos of the rest of the process, how it turns out and what the texture is. I'll cut through it obviously and show you, but this is an actual dessert dish that really should be eaten hot with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. It's always very nice like that. So we're nearly there now. I think you've got the idea of that. I'm just going to put the other egg whites on to whisk. And now I'm going to be putting this into the tin that I lined earlier, which, as I say, is a 22 centimetre tin, fully lined, and this is going to be the base of the brownie dish. Just scooping those bits up. I think people who watch me cooking or look at my Facebook page can obviously tell I've got a thing for chocolate dishes. So now that actually goes in. I'm just going to get a white to wipe my hand. That goes into the oven for 40 minutes on 180. After 40 minutes, we'll be getting that out. Obviously, I won't put you through 40 minutes of watch me any longer, but I'll pop that into the oven, and then you can see that I'll take pictures while the process is going, and then you can see when I add the next meringue. So I'll just run through this. This is making the next meringue. There's 4 egg whites, and into those egg whites I'm going to be adding sugar and also the cocoa powder, which has got a teaspoonful of corn flour in it. So now I'm going to be adding the white wine vinegar and a spoonful of vanilla essence. So 1, and not good with the shaking hands of Parkinson's, but hey. So now I'm going to be adding some more sugar. I'm sure my neurologist will be having a fit when they see what I'm cooking and recommending for everyone to cook, but as I say, it's just normally a treat we have on the weekend. So I'm just really showing you how to make a good meringue here. And just adding some more sugar. And just making sure that's mixed all nicely before I add the cocoa powder and corn flour, which then converts it into obviously a chocolate pavlova. So for all you chocolate lovers out there, this is going to be a lovely dish. I don't think it'll last very long in our house, not with Russ about. He's always got a sweet tooth. So I'm just going to whisk that up quite frantically at the moment. And then I'm going to, should really lift that up. Add the cocoa powder. Give it a bit of a whisk. Don't don't want to be covered in cocoa. Oh, spoke too soon. Just going to mix that around the edges so you can see that it's all completely blended in. And then just one last whisk. Then I'll take that out. And bring it over here so you can see the consistency. So what I do with this next is in 40 minutes when the bottom base, the brownie base of the dessert is cooked, I will then be taking it out after 40 minutes, putting the pavlova part on top of the brownie base and then cooking it for another 25 minutes. So, just to let you know as well, before I go, I'll take pictures through the process, post them on the Facebook pages. However, if you've had any questions or any questions posted, then I'll respond to them. Also, we're going to be doing some exciting things on Parkinson's Concierge and Parkinson's People. We'll be inviting you to virtual dinner parties, virtual drinks evenings, and of course virtual bingo with Russ will be back shortly, and as well as that we've got lots and lots of other ideas. So if you like a particular recipe that you want to send in to me to cook, be it vegetarian, fish, meat, whatever, dessert, please send it in, and I'll do my best at cooking it. But I'll catch up with you soon. Do stay safe, and hopefully you'll see the end result of my cake, and you can leave your comments on the Facebook pages. Thanks for now. Bye.